Здравствуйте, как дела? Меня зовут Брайан, и я сейчас живу в штате Джорджия, а в детстве, почти 9 лет, я жил в России. So what I said right there was that, hi, my name's Brian, and I now live in the state of Georgia, but for about 9 years, I actually lived in Russia. So I wanted today's video just to be a little more informal and just a little discussion about some of the things that I remember from my time in Russia, particularly when I went to Russian school in 7th grade. I think there's some important lessons that I can pull out from this experience about what it's like coming in and doing school in a second language. So where I'm at currently, the school I'm at currently, we have a large percentage of our population who are English language learners. And I know they have a lot of unique challenges in terms of what it looks like to come to school and learn and have academic success. Now, I wasn't coming into a school as an English language learner. I was coming into a school as a Russian language learner. My Russian skills in 7th grade, we'd been in Russia for 2 years. My Russian skills were not good at all. And I remember just the experiences of those first days and just the grueling and the taxing, just trying to understand what was going on, where I was supposed to be, when I was supposed to be there. That first day I came in, I didn't have a schedule. I didn't know what time school started. I just went to school. I got there, the halls were empty. No one was there to meet me. No one was there to help me. And I just went to what I thought I remembered our homeroom was, and I said, I hope they're there. Opened the door, and there were my classmates. And they all just turned and looked at me. The teacher didn't say a word, nothing. I come in, there's an empty seat. I sit down, I put my bag down. I get out my little pencil case, and I'm starting to try to get organized. I don't even know what the subject is. Bell rings. All my classmates, they get up, they grab their bags, and they head out the door. I put all this stuff in my bag, and I just start following for the whole day. I just followed where everybody else went. I didn't understand anything that happened that day. When I got home, I cried as a 12-year-old. I cried, and I told mom I didn't want to go back. She said, no, you're going to stick it out for the first semester at least, and then after that, we'll regroup, and we'll try to see. I just went to school, and I had a person I was supposed to sit next to. That was the assignment. In Russian schools, you actually travel with your same cohort. So you actually have like a class number, and that's where you go. And you all have the same schedule. You all go through the day exactly the same. And you stay together for years, from 3rd grade all the way through. So I had my seat buddy. I just wrote down whatever he wrote down. I didn't even know Russian cursive. So I didn't know what he was writing about. So in Russian school, they only use cursive, the teachers, the students, everything. Well, I had never learned Russian cursive. So to me, it looked like a bunch of scribbles, but I would just copy. I would literally just stare at this other kid's paper, and everything that he wrote down, I would try to copy it, not even knowing what letters I was writing down, not knowing what the teacher was dictating. They do a lot of dictating in Russia. And eventually I taught myself cursive just through copying. I didn't have any supports. There was no one there trying to guide me through this process, no one there to translate, no one there to give me any kind of assistance. And it was just me trying to figure it out. And I remember early on, there was a teacher who was just trying to gauge like what I was capable of, which was very, very little. And she asked a question and she called on me. She wanted to know the answer. And in very limited Russian, I said, I might know the answer, but I don't know the question. And she told me to sit down. Now, by the end of that year, I had friends. I was speaking much better, not perfectly, but I was speaking much better. I was able to do some of the coursework, and pretty much all the teachers just said, he tried, and I passed and moved on with my class into the 8th grade. What are the lessons to pull out of this? First off, I think we need to have a mindset like a child who's coming in, and the whole world is new to them. The whole world is new, and everything that we're trying to teach them and expose them to is kind of a foreign language. Now, for our students that are actually learning a foreign language, what's to them a second language, maybe a third language, maybe more, this is a whole different experience, and the lens that we need to see their experience through shifts and should shift. And we should have compassion and we should have understanding on these students. When students are doing school in a language that's not their home language, they are coming to a completely different world. The cultural barriers that exist. In Russian school, there is a much more authoritarian approach from the perspective of the teachers, that they make students stand up and report, that they will recite and read out everyone's grades in the whole class, and they will call out and mock certain students for not completing assignments or for not doing well in a certain particular class. And that is the culture. And for me, that was incredibly shocking. Now imagine, put yourself in the shoes of one of your students who's coming into your room and their school was done in a different language, a different culture. Maybe their home is completely a different linguistic background, maybe a different cultural background. And you're asking them to learn to speak your language in a matter of days. That you going over the syllabus and going over the procedures that you have for the class, that ought to do it. Why aren't they getting it? We have to remember this is completely worlds apart. So we need to approach this with grace, with compassion, with understanding, and we need to do our darndest to say, how can I reach this particular student? How can I make them feel like they're a part of this? Did I end up having a positive experience in Russian school? Absolutely. It was amazing. It was a blast. I developed so many great friendships through that time and just lasting memories, and just loved it. So if you're checking out my channel for the first time, or whether you're back for some more, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you watched. Share this with a teacher friend. Please like this video, subscribe if that's something that you want to do, and I hope I catch you on the next one.